Dr. Elizabeth Davenport, Unscripted.
We are rolling. Dr. Davenport, tell me your story.
My mom always joked, we knew when you were young that you would be either infamous or famous. And she's like, I'm really glad you didn't go on the infamous route. I grew up in a small town in North Carolina. My mom was a nurse. My dad was an engineer. My family was actually in NASCAR, so everybody was constantly working on engines and fixing things. Before I was allowed to get my license, I actually had to be able to change all of the different parts on the car. That was part of my dad's driver's license test for us. I think my interest in science and medicine started in third grade with my teacher. She would let us design our own science experiments. And so as a third grade girl, I said, I wonder if the temperature inside of my hair is different than outside of my hair. And so I walked around with like thermometers tied to my hair for a little while. It was one of my first experiences with a mentor that she never told me to stop. Early on when I was an EMT, I responded to a call of a man who had collapsed in a home improvement store. And as the kind of green junior EMT, it was my job to take history from his wife. And at that point, I was deciding between medical school and graduate school. So I'm taking the history, and I had read all of the textbooks, passed all of the tests, and I'm asking her these questions, and I get to this allergies. And I said, what is he allergic to? And she said, strawberries. And I don't know why that still to this day hits me, because it's this very real person that's not in the textbooks. It doesn't matter that it's strawberries. He actually didn't make it, and that was the decision point for me where I was like, I'm not doing medical school. This is not for me. I can't carry this with me. And so I have so much respect for those people, but that was the turning point for me, was somebody saying strawberries. My specialty is magnetoencephalography, or MEG. It's a subset of neurology and radiology. There's not very many of us in the country. All of the MEG scientists, we fit around a dinner table. I came to UT Southwestern in 2016. I was finishing up my PhD, and I remember getting ready for Thanksgiving and pacing the front hallway of my house, talking to Dr. Malgin, my mentor, him convincing me that Texas was a great place to be and UT Southwestern was this wonderful place. And so we drove across the country in a moving van, sight unseen, 21 hours into the rental house, and haven't looked back because it's just been such a great opportunity. I feel like I've had the chance to impact so many people, and it's very rewarding in the fact that what I'm doing, it's going to change practices. Some of our papers have gotten cited and changes in the concussion protocols or football.
Is there another patient story that has just stuck with you?
This was a 15-year-old kid. He started having seizures when he was 13, but nobody could really figure out where the seizures were coming from. And so we did the MEG, and all of the FDA clear software didn't work. It was just too messy. So my postdoc, Dr. Fonseca, started to run this algorithm on it that we had been working on, and it showed a hot spot in the brain, and we were so excited. So we ran it 4 more times, and this is where you really have that motivation to work, and you stay up late and you keep running it and you double checking it. And we took that back to the clinical team, and instead of having to have an open brain surgery, they were able to do a laser, and he's been seizure free ever since. My job has made me so much more appreciative of everything that I have in life. The highs are easy, right? You celebrate them and you are excited for that patient. The lows are learning opportunities for how can we do better. And the frustrating part of that is that it might take 10 years to figure out the answer to that question. And so you just have to remind yourself in this moment, even though I'm not solving this problem for this patient, I'm taking steps towards solving it for the future.
If you could share one piece of advice with your younger self, what would it be?
I think having that passion, you often will lose sight of it when you're studying for tests, when you're pushing through a late night. And so persistence is key. So take a breath, remember why you started, and keep going.